to be teaching on prayer. I want to speak about prayer pattern. Prayer pattern. I want to speak about prayer pattern. Oh. I want to speak about prayer pattern. Things that kill our fire. Most of us will start like a tornado. Then later, we calm down. Is that not so? If we must see God's glory in this dispensation, we must remain in prayer. I was talking to one of my mentees, and I said to him, I know spiritual codes. I just show you one code of prophecy. So I know about 40 of them. That's why I can't teach you compete with me. I can't. So, sorry, the last time I checked, I know about 40 ways to prophesy. 40. The last time I checked. Maybe when I update my archive now, maybe there's more. So, this one is one of the elementary ways, the one I taught on Sunday. But I noticed that a lot of us, we are jacked up because we are curious about knowing someone else's information. We want to just prophesy, so we are carried away by that. It's good, but, obviously it's one of the loud gifts. The prophetic is one of the loud gifts. It's very, very good, but the best gift that you could ever have is love. Love. The best gift that can be given to you is love. If you can love your neighbor as yourself, then you are really gifted. The Bible says, if I speak mysteries, if I speak in tongues more than everybody, if I had not love, I'm like a sounding cymbal. Love. And it's expedient we learn love. It's expedient that that human will be human. As much as you're dealing with human, you love. You love. So some of you learned how to speak in tongues and interpret tongues, yet you still left here. And, you still have a lot of problem with your neighbor. I don't know if I can show you my method that has helped me thus far. I used to forgive in advance. And forgiveness is not amnesia. So I can forgive you and use long spoon to eat with you because now I know you. Forgive in advance. Love. There's nothing like love. So if the church must see power, if the church must see the fullness of God, the church must transcend a little bit out of, away from the gift to prayer. Prayer. There's need to pray. Prayer is like the fan. It's like the fan that fan every gift you have. That's why Paul wrote a letter to Timothy and he said, stir up the gift that is inside of you. So prayer is one of the means with which prayer is one of the pivotal means we stir up the gift inside. When you see a man that is gifted and he cannot pray, he will not last long. He will not last long. He will just be going. See, as a matter of fact, if you get to the point where when you stop praying, God keep blessing you. God keep blessing you. God keep blessing you. The devil is at work. But you would even be at the best place where you stop praying and everything ceases. You quickly run back to who? To God. Hallelujah. So I was telling one of my mentees, I said, You know I'm very gifted. You know, these things I taught you. You don't want to know the years I've known it. And most times, what I've removed from my archive, what I've outgrown, I'll just come and teach it to the crowd. So I'm a man that, maybe because of where I grew up from, surrounded by prophet. So I'm a man that know that God, enable me a little to know some little ways to bypass, spiritual gift. But then I'll tell you categorically that there's nothing like bypassing prayer. There's nothing. No seed bypass prayer. No giving bypass prayer. No matter how you do it, it does not bypass prayer. Are you here or you went home? So if the church must see the fullness of God, we must remain in prayer. Gradually, if you notice, the church is turning to a circus. I was talking about some people today. I think with Pastor Kwelumi and some of the pastors were just talking. And we said, if this set of people really pray the way they say they are praying, they will not have time to even set camera and criticize. Because if you have really prayed, you'll be tired. You can't on that camera and begin to criticize. You'll be tired. So we are turning to circus, little by little. At some point, when people talk about the church, the repercussion was very heavy. Now we are becoming by the day powerless. The church is becoming by the day powerless. We are not different from, the gathering of Kengites and Manuel. We just gather with, then everybody go home. Then we gather again. And we are not blessed. We are not edified. And we are not growing. Hallelujah. We are not blessed. We are not edified. We are not growing. Any church you are not blessed is the gathering of Kengites. The difference between the church and Kengites is palm wine. A good palm wine. Those fresh ones? See your lips. It's just the palm wine that's remaining. Have you not seen where the choirs one day came to lead Kengite song here as praise? And I was really enjoying it, I was really enjoying it. Yeah, there must be power. If not, these people have already entered Kengite club, And today the praisers style with worship. So if we lack prayer, we'll gradually become circus. How many of you know circus? Will gradually become circus. Pattern of prayer. Do you remember when you used to pray? When you used to be on fire? When you used to be on fire? You remember? When by the time you hear prayer, it's like something touched your head. And you want to pray, you want to pray, you want to pray. You want to pray, you want to pray, you want to pray. This afternoon I said it on one of our group, and I said, we are starting another fasting. Who is with me? And I noticed that the people that followed me the other time, some of them still wanted to go again. Why some are saying, this thing, I stay away from it. I gave them an orientation. I said, if you do it, time will go. If you do not do it, time will go. Where's your fire? That fire that make you cry in church. When you hear about the presence of the Lord, just a little worship, you start crying. Where's that fire? So most times, you have left prayer. You have left the place of prayer. How would you hear that kind of sermon of Sunday and you're here telling me that you didn't pray at least an hour from Sunday till today? There's a problem with you. There's a problem with you. One thing we are quick to forget is there's a generation waiting on us. Everybody here, there's a generation waiting on you. You are not just created to just come and sit down in some kind of chair in Elroy, whatever, blah, blah. There's a generation waiting for you. Everybody here is tied to a generation. If I had missed it, then every one of you wouldn't have been here. And I know where I saw a lot of you from, even those online. If I had missed it, perhaps you would have still been somewhere where you are not edified, but because you're a good drummer, you just sit down there. You're not edified because you're a good singer, you just be there. If I had missed it. Everybody here is tied to somebody, and people also are tied to you. Everybody here is tied to somebody, and people here, there are people also that are tied to you. That's why the Bible says the earnest creation awaited the manifestation of the sons. The Bible says in the time of Seth, men began to call upon the name of the Lord. This is a man that understands the assignment. Seth was a man that understands his assignment. In every of our field, there are people tied to you. In every field, there are people tied to you. And you are going to give account. You're going to give account. Everything is not money. You know, now we are carried away by money. There was a time in my life that I said if I had some amount of money, I'll be this, I'll be that. Yeah, I'll sleep for so hours. Then I got to a time in my life where I have those amount of money. Then I realized that those money are not even money. Because the more the money, the more the problem. In fact, the money will be asking you, where is the money? Money is not everything. Then I realized that money does not really bring happiness. Some people say, I'd rather be sad in a jet. Because when you hear that, you see a man that does not have purpose. So I'm not saying that you would not be happy with the money, but you don't have purpose. If you have a purpose, you realize that money is not everything. Money is not everything. In fact, money was given to you to serve your purpose. Money was given to you to serve your purpose. You have a purpose. You were born naked, but not empty. There's a purpose. Every one of us, there's a purpose. But what do we do now? Mostly this part of the world, we run afterwards money. And when people see people that have this money, they feel they are fulfilled. Yet they are not. That's why people can actually sacrifice a lot to get money. I was watching a video where a brother was sleeping with a lady, and you know, there was so much maggot in the pubic region. How many of you have seen that video? All for money. How many of you have seen the video? Nobody here? You have seen it, liars. You know, the brother was sleeping with the lady, and so much maggot in the pubic region, and the brother was videoing it, and the maggots were coming out of the pubic region. Why? You don't have purpose. It's very simple to know if you have purpose. The first test that you don't have purpose is money. By the time money comes, you don't have purpose to serve it with. You don't have purpose. And more money will come as a result of purpose. If not, it will stop. And what keeps both money and purpose? Prayer. So we have gotten to the level where we don't pray. But I want to talk about things that kill prayer fire. Hallelujah. You know, the apostles told Jesus, they say, teach us how to pray. Like John taught his boys, teach us how to pray. But he taught them better than how John taught his boys. He didn't actually teach them how to pray. He showed them the prototype of prayer. How prayer should be arranged. That's what he showed them. Matthew 6:9. Matthew 6:9. The first thing you do when you get to the place of prayer, relax. Tell your neighbor, say relax. I want to see you relax now. Just relax. So I was actually expecting that you were going to breathe in and breathe out and readjust your seat. That's not relax. That's not relax. So the relax I'm talking about is slow down the process of your mind. Slow down the process of your mind. So while I'm prophesying, I do this. That's why sometimes I do, yeah, then I give a song. Because I'm trying to slow down the process of my mind. How it process. If not, you not get to God. This is where the Bible is saying, stand still and know that is God. Some of you, by the time you're about to pray, you begin to tell God how you want it to be, not his own will anymore. That's why the best way every time to pray is praying in tongues. Slow down your process of thinking. Rely on God. Forget everything. Forget and let go. Forget and let go. Rely on God. Constantly rely on God. Relax. Like, okay, oh Lord, take over. Oh Lord, take over. Oh Lord, have your way. Rely on God. Not breathe in and breathe out and readjust like we just did. Hallelujah. Matthew 6:9. Can we read together? Matthew 6:9. Okay. After this manner, therefore, pray ye. This will lead us to the second one. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be your name. The first one, your Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The next way to pray will be praise and worship. Praise and worship. This is a format of prayer. Praise and worship is a format of prayer. In the sense that, I noticed something in the Bible. Do you know, okay, let me talk more on worship now. But do you know you can praise and miss? Do you know you can be carried away by praise? You know you can be carried away by praise? And you can begin to do some things. It happened with David. The Bible said David began to dance naked. Did God require him to dance naked? He was blown away. He was blown away. We've been having praise here where some of you carry share. I've done worse. I have done worse. You have no idea. I've done worse. Those times, now I'm thinking how my wife was coping with me then. Because then I was attending Dunamis. Under, I think, Pastor Sam Medino. By the time he start praising, he begin to look for this Yoruba boy, me. Then they bring me to the altar. You're coming with somebody that you say, don't worry, tomorrow will be fine, don't worry. Then we get there, he's looking for this Yoruba boy. Then he bring me to the, you remember? You bring me to the altar here, then I begin to dance. Then I dance. Then my trousers tear from here. Then tear. And I don't have transport, not to talk of offering. So by the time we are going home, I'll begin to catwalk, begin to tell her, don't worry, I'll buy you a jet. And she believed. Don't worry. By the time we begin to ride our plane now, people will say, where do we see money? Very funny. So you have not done anything here. You have not done anything. I was a customer in offing my clothes. You remember? Sometimes, I was broke. So sometimes I've already offed it before I remember that my singlet was, some of you are wearing those type of singlet here, those singlet that are not singleting. I'll off the clothes, drop it in my seat, come outside, remaining singlet, and be dance. I'm in church bigger than this one. And be dancing. Then after everything, I'll go and put it on. I'll not send anybody. And I remember those that were looking at me then as if nothing good can come out of me. In case if you don't know, now you know. Now we see each other online. So you can actually praise and miss it. It's just that mercy cover you, grace cover you. But have you noticed that you can't worship and miss it? If you're truly a worshiper, you can't worship and miss it. One time I took some of the choirs to the mountain and I taught them how I worship. How many of you are here then? I think David, right? Who again? Only you? Okay, Alex. I taught them how to worship. It's more than just singing. Hallowed be your name. Inside your worship, the magnitude of your God must show. Hallowed be your name. Sometimes we have seen his doxazo and tears begin to gush out of our eyes. His glory, his kabod. Hallowed be your name. So the first one was the address to him. This, hallowed be your name. I address this prayer to you, our Father who art in heaven, I rely on you. The next one, hallowed be your name. Do you know that the demon possessed in, is it Genazareth now? Do you know that demon possessed, one of the things he understood was, he knows that by the time you reveal who God is to you, he will reveal who you are to the world and what he has made out of you. Most times, if you can just reveal how big God is to you, how big. Do you know why God would tell Abraham, give me your heir? Not your son, no, your heir. Because if he says son, Abraham would have gone to Ishmael. That one is easy to give. But say, give me your hair. So anyone you call your hair, your best. Why? I want to know how you value me, how you carry me. Hallowed be your name. Hallowed be your name. And the man came and was revealing Jesus. Most times the reason why we can't really worship is because God is not revealed. We have not revealed God. So there's nothing he wants to reveal through us to somebody else. He said, thou art Jesus, Son of the living God. Even a demon is recognizing Jesus. He said, you are Jesus, Son of the living God. Then he prayed unto Jesus. What is prayer? Is prayer not request? Every other demon were casted away. But he asked for a request and Jesus gave it to him. He said, just command me to enter the swines. And Jesus allowed him to go into the swines. Because he recognized. A lot of us, we don't recognize. A lot of us in this time of worship, this is when we think about a lot. That's why it's expedient you guard what you hear, guard what you see. Guard what you hear, guard what you see. Because most times, the moment you are about to hit this level and God is about to be revealed in you, the devil bring what you hear, bring what you see to you. Hallowed be your name. Guard what you hear, guard what you see, because you want to see a picture. This was the difference between Peter and every of the apostles. So Jesus asked, who do men say I am? And this one say you are Elias. This one say you are one that died and reincarnated. This one say this one say that. Then they say, who do you say I am? The day Peter revealed who Jesus was to him, that was the day Peter was revealed to himself. He said, no. The name you have been bearing is not even your name. It's just a code of your name. But it's not your name. From today you'll be a stone, a Cephas. And on this stone I will build my church. And the gate of hell will not prevail. So he revealed Jesus, and Jesus revealed who he is. Hallowed be your name. By the time God is being revealed, you know what happened to you? And this is my best part of this message. Are you here? By the time God is revealed in you, then you begin to, first of all, struggle with sight and sound, what you have seen. That's when the drums, everything become real to you. And you are trying to avoid the drum, the miss. Do you know, most times it's an advantage if you don't even know music and the chords. Because you would be able to concentrate easier. So when we speak about off key, some people are saying, but the voice is sweet. Because if the voice is thin, it's sweet. You don't know how lucky you are if you are like that. But if you are like some of us that know the chord, we know the tenor, soprano, alto, treble, then at that point we begin to listen to them. We want to hear the bass line. We want to hear the toms. So if one thing miss from each other, you can be easily distracted. The same way when you know the fault of everybody in the church. Maybe the day that God wants to bless you is the same day that your most hated person is preaching, or your most hated person is worshiping. That's all. That's all. It has cost you a lot. Then the devil tries to distract you when you begin to hallowed be your name. You know, that's the point where we begin to give God name according to experience he has. Do you know that every name you're giving to God is not even his name? Men gave him name based on the experience they had. So when he healed them, they call him Rapha, Nisi, Shidukenu, you know, Elroy, based on the experience. Sometimes he does not want to listen to the experience they have with him again. He wants to listen to your own experience. Your own. Intimacy. Intimacy. Just like you're having a relationship with a woman, and you are telling the woman the experience with the former, relationship. It's not really valued. Even when you are telling a woman that men don't value you, that's not really valued like I value you. So he wants to hear your relationship with him. And he said, flesh and blood did not show you this. Because by the time you begin to tell him about your relationship with him and hallowed him up, flesh and blood begin to die. Then spirits begin to come alive. Then the last step you get to, before you get into the spirit, can I share with you? The devil has known now that everything you've had, everything you have known has not distracted you. So he brings sin. The sin in the past. So with all sincerity, obviously, every one of us must have been praying before, and you get to a point you begin to remember your sin. Can I see your hand? Everybody? Okay. Those of you that has never experienced it, I'd like to be like you, but not in the bad way, because you are even a liar. You are still lying here. Everybody, you get to that point where your sin, it wants to drag you back. And this is the main point. This is the place where most of the Christians end their prayer journey. A brother was telling me, he said, there's this sin I used to commit. Not just one, not just two, not just three. He said, there's this sin I used to commit. Each time I commit it, I don't feel like coming to the house of God. Then I said to him, I said, when you sin, these are some of the things I learned from a God's general. When you sin against God, don't run away from God, run to God. The solution of sin is for you to run to God. As a matter of fact, the way you see sin is quite different from how God sees sin. So they brought a certain woman and they said she was caught in the very act. And Jesus continued to write. Jesus continued to write. And he lifted up his head. And he said, if there's anyone here without sin, let him be the first to cast a stone. And he continued to write. Then later he lifted up his head, he didn't see any one of them, and he asked, where are your accusers? These are not accusers, they were witness. They were witness. He had not even died, yet he's asking, where are your accusers? But the devil understands the standpoint of God. That's why he's fighting you. He can't be forgiven. He does not want you to be forgiven. So he fights you. Then you, not knowing the standpoint of God, then you run away from God. You should sin and run down to God. I'll show you something. 2 Corinthians 5:21. Can you just open it for us? I want to show you the standpoint where you address sin. 2 Corinthians 5:21. Okay. For he hath made him to be what? Sin for us. Who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of. Can we read it now? For he has made him to be sin for us. Who knew no sin? What was he made? Sin. That same sin you committed. Jesus was made that same sin. And the same sin you commit, you run. I've seen people that you know. Do you know what sin does naturally? In the fall of man, even from the fall of man, you will notice that sin was not actually sin until man brought the same sin he sinned. Adam, where are you? That's the same way God has been looking for Adam every time. Adam, where are you? Because the garden is quite big, but he was still in the garden. Where are you? He said, I heard you coming and I hid myself. Why are you hiding, Adam? Have you taken of the, says the woman that you gave to me? Why are you hiding, Adam? Imagine the place where God is coming from, and Adam met him and he said, I'm sorry. But he hide. That's the problem with a lot of us. I'm struggling with this. Then why are you hiding? Run back to God. Run back to God. Now, the devil has used that same sin to collect the power of prayer from you. This has been my secret over the years. Best in running back to God. Run back to God. If God knows the account of your hair, is it your sin? Is it your sin? Run back to Him. Before that sin cuts you from prayer. What cuts people originally from prayer is sin. Sin. By the time they have said, hallowed be your name, thy kingdom come, that will be done on earth, you know, then the devil say, look at this one. You are not even worthy. Then they hide. Because it's in man's nature to hide. But what did Jesus come to give us? That's why the curtain of the temple tore. So that every time we can approach Him and obtain mercy. Do you know it's not in the Bible to seek for forgiveness? It's already there. Obtain mercy. He said, come boldly that you obtain mercy. It's already there. Then the devil deal with you with the sin. Deal with you with the sin. Deal with you with the sin. The same devil that tempted you to sin is the same devil now that has made you think that washing online is better than on site. And you have minimized it like 10 times to look at message on WhatsApp. And those messages will not stop coming. Yep. As I'm about to say, will not stop you. Yep. You leave it. Yep. Then you know that it's just a big lie. Learn to run to God. He was made sin. Do you know why God, oh my God, do you know why God some point was missing in action in the life of Jesus? Because he was made sin. That's why the Jesus on the cross is not the God we follow. Because the cross is where all the price is being paid. And the Jesus on the cross did not have God. Didn't he say it by himself? Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. He was forsaken because he was made the sin. He was forsaken so that you will never be forsaken. What happened? Now you are forsaking him. Even as you learn the pattern of prayer, don't stop. Don't stop. Obtain mercy. How do we obtain mercy? We stand in the position of strength, not in weakness. In the position of strength. In the position of strength. So the devil derail you and you fail. By the time you fall, what happened when you fall is even more important than you falling. The moment you fail, rise up. Rise up. Don't stay there. Then God understands that it is not the same day a child is born, the child begin to walk. When you see all these men of God, yeah, and they begin to say, I have not done this, I have not, self-righteousness is very deceiving. Because if you have not done what you are saying, you have done some other one. I've seen one that was, very, very self-righteous, yet everybody is fake except him and his clan. That one is not a sin. Everyone is fake. Oh, we are the righteousness of God. In the standpoint of strength. That's why you don't sin and begin to mention your sin. Oh Lord, last week I thief. It's funny, right? But you do it. You do it, Acts 26:18. There's something I love. Do you know Jesus did not die for you to be valuable? He died because you are valuable. He didn't die so that you will be valuable. He died because you are valuable. I've seen people, I've said this before, where people say, I am not more than a rat for you, before you. I'm not more than a cockroach before you. I am not, and I used to joke with it. I said, speak for yourself. Me, I'm more than a cockroach. I'm the one Jesus died for. And some people say, prophet, me ò tó láti gbàdúrà fún yín, but èmi tó láti gbàdúrà fún ẹ. I'm not enough to pray for you, prophet. So but me, I'm enough to pray for you. And you are even older than me. I say, I'm not enough. How do you become enough to pray for me? How? Because they carry so much unworthiness in their spirit. So, do you know every time you say, oh Lord, I am not even worthy for you to die for me. I am not even valuable. Do you know you insult the blood of Jesus? Because he came because you are valued. So we devalue it. I am nothing before you, oh Lord. Then God is saying, Jesus said, so I died for nothing. I died for nothing. It's an insult to grace. Display the Bible verse. Let's read together. Okay, this how we approach sin, There's already a story before this, but I want to focus on here. To open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto God, that they may what? Receive. It's already there. Receive forgiveness of sin. Rise up from the sin. Rise up. Understand that it's a gradual process thing. You keep working. You keep working. You keep working. You keep working. Then you ask the brother, why have you not been in church for like 2 months? Papa, now I want to come out to you. I want to come out to you. What happened? Talk to me. So me now, I'm already thinking he killed somebody. And he said, Papa, there's this sin I used to commit. Then I say, which sin? And he say, so. Each time I commit it, I don't want to come to God's presence. Okay, now go to God's absence. Go to God's absence. Even that place you are is still God's presence. But the devil has deceived you that God is not here like in the church. So the atmosphere is corrosive. Don't go there. Don't go there. Because he wants to put you in a tight. I've told you, one of the biggest strategy of the devil is to seclude you and deal with you. He will say, see, by the time you are with the folk, do you know that you can even come to church even when you are struggling with the sin? Before the end of the service, if the presence of God is really there, you will already be all right. How many of you know that? But he knows that this is your last hope. That's why when you see a Christian that the devil separates like this, I've seen some Christians, the devil has separated them, they are still bragging. It's just a matter of time. Do you know that if this set of people here were able to carry open heaven, by the time we mix with them, at the end of the service, mostly if one of them have the chance to hold the microphone, all of us end up with open heaven. All of us end up with open heaven, except we hate the person. The devil knows. He knows you didn't pray, but he knows the choir prayed before they came. And he knows that their song will convict you. So what did he do? He puts you there. Then by the time the choir ministration is about to come, you say you join online, WhatsApp message come inside. A massive strategy. A massive strategy. He divides. That's why the Bible says he is like a roaring lion seeking for whom to devour. He does not devour them together. He removes one and deal with. Have you seen how lion pursue people? Pursue animals? They chase all of them, then they look for one that leave the pack. And by the time none leave the pack, have you seen this? Is it weather beast? All of them will turn when they don't want to leave and face the lion. What does the lion do? You will now see the famous king of the jungle go round. By the time they back themselves, he go round. Then he knows that he who fight and run live to fight what? Another day he lives. But by the time one is running like this and that one now feel like, okay, I don't want to run with the pack, let me go like this, I feel they are slower. They leave the pack and what? Ambush that one. That's what the devil is doing with you. You sit in the house. If you are that biggest sinner in your own eyes that you think you are, you should be the first in church. Come and carry your rag and begin to for me, mo say me, kilema, cover me. Say everything will start in my front here and finish in my front. Oh, I love my mind to be clear. I love my mind to be clear before I go to the presence of God. Let my mind be pure. Have you ever had a pure heart? How dare you? A pure heart? Have you forgotten your thoughts towards the bike man? Without your pure heart, you're coming with a pure heart. And I'm talking as a prophet, not to talk of member. One day I was coming, my very, very exquisite clothes. You know, I think 2018 or 2017. And I was going to church. So we'll take the cab, we'll get to Futa Junction and be going. You remember, I was putting on white and white. I was full of the Spirit of God. And one Hilux was coming and he splashed water on the white. I understand. And the guy said, sorry, don't worry, I'll do my own too to someone else. Because I know it's turn by turn. But is that what my heart is saying? You think you can have a pure heart? You have no idea. Nobody among you can have a pure heart. Sometimes we have thought far, then we bring back our heart to check. So if our hearts were to be acted, a lot of people will not be alive. Sometimes you close your mouth not to sin, but your heart, you are like a dragon. You now begin to feel hot hair come outside. I want to have a pure heart. Inside your heart, this guy is dead. Inside your heart. Firere senumi ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ayé mi. Ọlọ́run mi mo ké pè ọ́, má jẹ́ kéṣù yà mí lọ. Ṣàmà ṣọ́ mi, ṣàmà tọ́ mi, kémi mà ṣe sófin rẹ̀. If God should mark iniquity, who will stand? For there's forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. We wait upon the Lord, our soul waits, and in his words we do hope. Who will stand? Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand, you that will stand. That's why the man came out and said, in this kind of things, and began to, self-righteousness. After all the self-righteousness, you have started seeing fake men of God. This one is fake, that one is fake, this one is fake, that one is fake, this one is fake, that one is fake. This one does fake deliverance, that one does fake deliverance. Then you say, like for example, you want to do deliverance, then somebody that you are supposed to deliver now is fighting wrestling with you. You don't know that if it's not for mercy, this lady will smack you down, because you have missed the mark from where you are talking. I took the video and I showed the pastor. I said, see who says so deliverance is. See wrestling is fighting. At that point, I'm supposed to hide that video too. Even me too, I'm a sinner. Because I used the video to mock him too. Then I realized, I don't already show them. Then I said, I want to keep a pure heart. The Bible says, he that look at a woman lustfully. Huh? Do you know the standard? Look at this brother's eyes. Do you know the standard? These sisters don't even know how we brothers think. One day a lady was here dancing. I didn't know that my wife was seeing me. I left all this area for her. If I am dancing, I used to be here. Anytime I face it, I just see the thing with I say, okay, no wahala. You want to cost me my salvation? I said, I'll leave this side for you. Inside my heart, so I was dancing here. I forgot myself. As I came here, I didn't know that my wife was looking at me. I removed my eye. I came back here and I was dancing. By the time I was now talking about my wife, now say, I saw you. Do you know what the keyboard is say? You don't want to know what the keyboard is say. Do you know the standard? Do you know the standard of righteousness? I think the keyboard say, damn, is this real? You are trying to maintain a pure heart in the presence of God. See, if not that God has torn the veil, nobody will live here alive. Nobody. Then these things make you not pray. Obtain mercy and fire. Then the devil knows that he has failed. That's when you can even stand right. Now, how do you tell the person that please start sitting at the back? How? She sat down here. I would have even prefer her to join the choir and just stay close to that wall. She sat down here. Then I noticed all the pastors there. Let me do like the pastors. Everybody they were looking like this, you know. There's one funny thing about the pastorium. Your wife is around you, except for this one, and you know, except for Pastor Pelumi. And you know, you can't just know where your wife is looking from because she's an usher. She might just be designated and she's here. So everybody began to dance today. Then I noticed that it wasn't just me that is avoiding. The best you can do is avoid. You can't have a pure heart. And the keyboardist from the keyboard said, damn, is this real? I think he sent it in a voice note to Suleiman. Suleiman now forwarded it to me. You know the funniest thing? The first thing I thought in my head when I jammed out was, is this real? And I left the place. That's the best you can do. They say, until I have pure heart before I'll come. The David that wrote, who can stand in the presence of the Lord and who can sit in the holy place? He that has a clean hand and a pure heart. Tell me which of the two David has. The Bible says, God told David, he said, there's too much blood in your hand, you will not build my house. That's the person that says, he that has a clean hand and a pure heart. The pure heart that sent to Uriah's husband. That sent to Uriah. This guy packaged the wife. Still try to cover. Still try to do damage control. To show you that, oh my God. And the Bible said, the things I want to do, I'm not doing it. And the one I don't want to do, that's Paul, right? He said, the one I don't want to do, I find myself what? Doing it. So I'm seeing myself what? I'm doing it. To show you that this guy, in his heart, he wants to be pure. That's why he wrote all those poems. And Nathan came to him. And Nathan said, there's a man that took a sheep from somebody. He has so many. And he said, that man should be killed. And he said, you are the man. Look at his heart of judgment. That's why don't be quick to judge some people. Some people may be Jacob, but when God will change them to Israel, you still address them by Jacob. Look at his heart. Let the man be killed. If it were to be someone else, he would have been killed. But he's the one, he realized that he has sinned. That's what God wants you to know. Just realize that you have sinned. Not yesterday this, yesterday that, yesterday this. After service, you do another one. Yesterday this, yesterday that, yesterday this, yesterday that. Last week this, last week that. Everything, have mercy upon me. But when you obtain forgiveness, oh Lord, I'm in a sinful world, but your righteousness can help me. I am the righteousness of God. I am the righteousness of God. The fire, enter into prayer, enter into communion. Forget it. You know, most times we have wicked heart and we think that's how God think. We have wicked heart and we think that's how God think. But God does not think like that. His thought different from our thought. His ways different from our ways. Stop trying to mention all your sin. Obtain mercy. This is why he said, it is finished. Be on your feet. In the church where sin. How many people are on fire? Go and count them. How many people are on fire? Understand that you're even in the sinful world. Some of you don't even have a car. Mostly where youths are like this. You even, oh my God. You see some ladies as you're going home now, they'll wear, you know, these tights they used to fit a camel. You know how light it can be. And they don't have conscience. They don't think the way you think. One time I finished a fast. So somebody was celebrating birthday. I think I'll share the story here. And they said, let's do it in a swimming pool. And I said, okay. Man of God, come, let's go. We are not going to take alcohol. And they were my sons. I said, okay. I got to the swimming pool. I first of all saw one guy sat down. A girl stood. And this guy was doing you know, I've never been to a club. I've never seen all those kind of things in my life. So I opened my mouth like, I thought there's a bone here. And this thing was like water. Then I realized that I was a pastor. You know how you do as if you are not? Yeah. Then I look, who see me? Nobody saw me. In my head, nobody saw me. Then I'll swim, I'll come outside, I'll look again. How managed? How managed? We are surrounded with sin. Now, am I saying you should go on and keep sinning? The devil will come for you, you know now. No. But that consciousness, be eager to run always to God. To run to God. Even as you are trying. Even as you are trying in your own eyes, be eager always to run back to God. Run back to God. When we sin, we run to God, not away from God. Have you learned anything tonight?